All of ISKCON will be talking. In Dallas, they do classes on mics. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, good morning. Welcome to our daily Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today is an amazing day, as Nrsimha Rupa Prabhu has mentioned. It's not only Valentine's Day, but it's the end of the 6th canto. Wow. We will start the 7th canto, starting tomorrow with Dino Bandhu Prabhu. Wow. It's amazing. First, before we dive into Srimad Bhagavatam, let us get in the mood, proper mood, by singing Jai Radha Madhava, so we can see the windows of the spiritual world. As Srila Prabhupada said, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Hare. Rama. Jaya Radha Kalasanji, Radha Kalasanji, Shri Radhe. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shri the Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Prabhupada, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Whoop. Hare Krishna. Let's do our invocation verses, if we may. We can do them all together, both Sanskrit and English, please. First, we'll start with repeating, though. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devyam sarasvatim vesam tato jayam udirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer the respectful obeisances unto Narayan, Godhead, Narayan, the supermost human being, unto Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of fortune, and to Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Nashta prayasha breshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati utamasloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome with the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental sounds is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyantimarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto them. So we are ending this 6th canto. So this class is on the whole last chapter. So Srila Prabhupada has done something very nice. I believe it's Srila Prabhupada. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But there's a chapter summary, right? It's written by Srila Prabhupada, the summaries? Or is it done by the devotees as kind of a... interesting, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. My question, Mataji, would be, is the summaries that are in the beginning of chapters, were they written by Srila Prabhupada, or they were written by Srila Prabhupada? Oh, very nice. So therefore, what we'll do is we'll read the summary of the chapter, and then we'll get all that nice summary, and then we'll go to our focus verse 5. So if we could do about a paragraph a person, And if it's a really short paragraph, you may read 2.
This chapter explains how Diti, Kashyapa Muni's wife, executed Kashyapa Muni's instructions on devotional service. During the first day of the bright fortnight of the moon in the month Agrahanya, November through December, every woman following in the footsteps of Diti and following the instructions of her own husband should begin the Pumshavana Vrata. In the morning, after washing her teeth, bathing and thus becoming purified, she should hear about the birth mystery of Maruts. Then, covering her body in a white dress and being properly ornamented before breakfast, she should worship Lord Vishnu and Mother Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, Lord Vishnu's wife. By glorifying Lord Vishnu for his mercy, patience, prowess, ability, greatness, and other glories, and for how he can bestow all mystic benedictions.
How far should I read?
Until you feel uncomfortable. I'm just kidding, but yes.
That might not happen. Okay. While offering,
that is good.
Okay, so while offering the Lord all paraphernalia for worship, such as ornaments, a sacred thread, scents, nice flowers, incense, and water for bathing, and washing his feet, hands, and mouth, one should invite the Lord with this mantra. Together, Om Namo Bhagavate Mahapurushaya Mahanubhavaya Mahavibhutipataya Saha Mahavibhutibir Balim Aparami. Then one should offer 12 oblations into the fire while chanting this mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahapurushaya Mahavibhutipataya Swaha. One should offer obeisance while chanting this mantra 10 times. Then one should chant the Lakshmi Narayan mantra.
If either a pregnant woman or her husband regularly discharges this devotional service, both of them will receive the result. After continuing this process for 1 full year, the chaste wife should fast on Purnima, the full moon day of Kartik. On the following day, the husband should worship the Lord as before, and then observe a festival by cooking nice food and distributing prasad to the brahmanas. Then, with the permission of the brahmanas, the husband and wife should take prasad. This chapter ends by glorifying the result of the Pumsavana function.
What was your guys' desire while you were chanting the mantras? Uh-oh. Were you being attentive in your mantra chanting? Okay, let's go to text 5, please. This will be our focus verse. Yatya tvam kripaya bhutya. Yatya tvam kripaya bhutya. Tejasya mahima jasya. Tajyasya mahimo jasya. Justa isha gunaya sarvais. Justa isha gunaya sarvais. Tato Shri Bhagavan Prabhu. Tato Si Bhagavan Prabhu. Bolo, please. Yata Tvam Kripaya Bhutya. Yata Tvam Kripaya Bhutya. Tejasya Mahimo Jasa. Astisha Gunai Surveys. Shri Bhagavan Prabhu. Yatya Tvam Kripaya Bhutya. Yatya Tvam Kripaya Bhutya. Tejasya Mahimojasa. Pushta Isha Gunaya Sarves. Tato Si Bhagavan Prabhu. Let's do the word for word together, please. Yata, as, Tvam, you, Kripaya, with mercy, Bhutya, with opulence, Tejasa, the prowess, Mahima, Ojasa, with glory and strength, Justaha, endow, Isha, O my Lord, Gunai, with transcendental qualities, Sarvai, Alo, therefore, Asi, you are, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prabhu, the Master. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O my Lord, because you are endowed with causeless mercy, all opulences, all prowess, and all glories, strength and transcendental qualities, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. Please repeat, O my Lord, because you are endowed with causeless mercy, all opulences, all prowess, and all glories, strength and transcendental qualities, your Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. Everyone. Purport. Haribo. Thank you, Kalashanji, for being my master. In this verse, the words Tatyoshi Bhagavan Prabhu mean, therefore you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of everyone. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is endowed with all 6 opulences in full, and moreover, He is extremely kind to His devotees. Although He is full in Himself, He nonetheless wants all the living entities to surrender unto Him, so that they may engage in His service. Thus He becomes satisfied. Although He is full in Himself, He nonetheless becomes pleased when His devotees offers Him patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, a leaf, flower, fruit, or water, in devotion. Sometimes the Lord, as the child of Mother Yashoda, requests His devotees for some food, as if He were very hungry. Sometimes He tells His devotee in the dream that His temple and His garden are now very old, and that He cannot enjoy them very nicely. Thus, He requests the devotee to repair them. Sometimes He is buried in the earth, and as if unable to come out Himself, He requests His devotees to rescue Him. Sometimes He requests His devotees to preach His glories all over the world, although He alone is quite competent to perform the task. Even though the Supreme Personality of Godhead is endowed with all possessions and is self-sufficient, He depends on His devotees. Therefore, the relationship of the Lord with His devotees is extremely confidential. Only the devotee can perceive how the Lord, although full in Himself, depends on His devotees for some particular work. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita 11:33, where the Lord tells Arjuna, Nimitya matram bhava savyasya chin. O Arjuna, merely be an instrument in the fight. Lord Krishna had the competence to win the battle of Kurukshetra, but nonetheless, He induced His devotee Arjuna to fight and become the cause of victory. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was quite competent enough to spread His name and mission all over the world, but still He depended upon His devotee to do this work. Considering all these points, the most important aspect of the Supreme Lord's self-sufficiency is that He depends on His devotees. This is called his causeless mercy. The devotee who has perceived his causeless mercy of the devotee who has perceived this causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by realization can understand the master and the servant. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Wow, what a purport. We have the devotee, and there's Krishna, and there's the relationship. And in the conditioned state, we have this issue where we see things separate from Krishna. And therefore we're conditioned and are subject to be controlled by the three modes of material nature. So we are always controlled. We always have a master. In one state, in the conditioned state, our master, she's very tough. She has a trident with 3 points, poking us. She really wants us to poke us and put us to the right direction of Krishna, but unfortunately, in our conditioned state, we do everything we can to put our head in the sand and ignore the fact that there is Krishna. But in the other state, we are controlled also. But we're controlled by Krishna. We're controlled by the desire and the love of what does Krishna want. And as devotees, in this practicing of Krishna consciousness, that's where we're trying to get, right? We're trying to get controlled by Krishna, you know? And that's a process. Because in our conditioned state and then coming to Krishna consciousness, at first we flicker back and forth. You know, Krishna sounds awesome, let's try it. But I remember, that Maya was so sweet. Oh, actually, I try it and it wasn't so sweet. So go back to Srila Prabhupada. I'm forgetting where he says it, but he says that renunciation is natural for the soul. So in the conditioned soul, we'll even have a tendency to renounce Krishna because we're idiots. Excuse me, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot, not you guys, Prabhus. Yeah. So, wow, this Krishna consciousness is nice. Let me go try Maya. Oh wait, So this is using renunciation improperly, and it causes often a consequence for that, right? But the consequence when we come to Krishna is that a very nice consequence, because we get purified of that state by just sticking ourselves in the fire and remaining there, by continuing to do our service, by continuing to do our best to become Krishna conscious. We stay in that fire and the purifications start to come out. They start to burn away. So we less and less stop dipping our toe into that wrong pool. And we continue to dip our whole being into the right pool of Krishna prema, hopefully. We're getting there, right? That's where we're going. So, this Krishna consciousness is just so powerful. It's so powerful that not only are we on a pathway to become purified and become pure devotees of the Lord in pure service and understand sincerely and purely who our master is, that this Krishna consciousness is so strong that even others who come in contact when we're doing our best in trying this become purified. It's pretty amazing. So it's the most important thing that we can do for humanity, for others. In the purport yesterday, Srila Prabhupada says that not only was Diti purified because of her devotional service, but Indra was too. Just Indra being in contact with Diti's service, he became purified. So can we please become Krishna conscious so that we can help every living entity by just doing our duty, doing our work, and actually contacting people with Krishna consciousness? I know what you're saying. Some of you. But I'm so here, even if I'm in Krishna consciousness, I don't see, how am I really making impacts on people? That's not your job. That's not your job. That's not your job to try to see the impact that we're making in life. Our job is to be Krishna conscious and be so confident in the words from our acharyas and from Krishna that simply by doing our duty in Krishna consciousness, it becomes devotional service, and anybody who comes in contact with it makes progress. Just do it. Stop. Throw down your misconceptions. Throw down your tendency to be conditioned and, I'm going to say this one way and then I'm going to switch to another way, to be careful. Throw away your conditioning that I'm so materially inclined. If I do devotional service, my devotional service isn't like that, right? No, have so much confidence in this Krishna consciousness that we are making a huge impact. My other point, what I wanted to say, because we do have our great acharyas that do talk about and do great prayers about, I'm fallen, I'm so conditioned, right? So let's not throw away that completely. Let's make sure that we are being authentic in ourselves and that we're not creating a mood that is not conducive to our Krishna consciousness. Because sometimes we can stick in that mood of I'm so fallen, even I can't do any devotional service. Anybody I come in contact with is not only becoming Krishna conscious, they're actually going the other way, right? Okay, I'm not saying, yes, let's be humble, right? But the humility is that it's not you. Your Krishna consciousness that purifies other people and makes devotional service, it isn't you. It's Krishna. Krishna is the one who we come in contact that purifies ourselves and others. So, can we become like this phone? This phone is neither good nor bad. I, the user, have a decision to make. I can use it in this way or that way, right? But we decide we want to be a phone and we want our master, our controller, to be Krishna. And although this phone or us might have so many deficiencies and defects, right? Our master is amazing. Even a broken phone, he can use. He will fix it and make it perfect. So that might be a process that we're working through, right? We still have some conditioning, some breakage in our instrument, in our thought processes, our mindset, our communication, all these things, right? But if we stay in the consciousness that Krishna is my master, and therefore he is amazing, and therefore he can fix everything, even me, wow, something amazing happens. We start to be able to use even our defects in Krishna consciousness. For instance, I was talking to a palmist, and the palmist, right? I understand that some devotees will, this or that, but anyways, listen to the point here. The palmist looked at me and said, "You are so stubborn." And I was like, yes, Mataji, you are correct, Over time, I had to face, I'm facing that. I'm stubborn. But I want to use my stubbornness for Krishna consciousness. Wow, how do I do that? Well, I read this thing. This thing popped up. I felt like it was Krishna's mercy. And it said, basically, don't be stubborn, be convicted. Have conviction. And I said, this is how I can use my stubbornness for Krishna consciousness. I can become convicted, have conviction that Krishna is my Supreme Lord, that He is my Master, that this process is absolute, and by sticking with it and doing the right thing, then I will become purified. And I'm very stubborn. So sometimes I can use that as a lot of conviction. But the thing is that I have some impurities in me still. So sometimes I can see it in the light of stubbornness when I'm in lower consciousness, and then when I'm in higher consciousness, I can use it in conviction. And that's actually Krishna's mercy too, that when I do get the realization, Nanda-braja, you're being a little stubborn, or a lot stubborn. Let's shift this. Let's shift this. Let's try to see this in a right perspective, that instead of being stubborn, maybe we can be convicted, have conviction in the words of our acharyas and in Krishna consciousness, to see this in a way that I can use that energy in the proper mood. It's very, very helpful. So, do you have things in your life that you would consider broken, or problems or issues in your personality, your character, or your situation? That's okay. These become your greatest gold in Krishna consciousness. If we can use these things that are giving us great trouble, and you learn to use them in Krishna's service, then they become a great gift. I understand that my conviction can be a very great gift as long as I'm in Krishna consciousness. Do I make mistakes in that? Yes, absolutely. But you know what? Because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and my guru, to try to do my best to become Krishna consciousness, I see those moments. You see those moments in your life, and you start to use them to grow, to make progress, right? You see your mistakes. Oh, next time I'm in that situation, my stubbornness wasn't so conducive to my Krishna consciousness. Let me be convicted, have conviction. Convicted. It sounds like you're going to jail. I might be using that wrong. Let me have conviction. Let me have conviction that Krishna consciousness is the best situation, and that my Supreme Master is in complete control, and I might be in the fog of war and be delusioned at the moment. But if I set myself in the moment that Krishna will surely save me and protect me, then things will clear up, right? And then at least for me, I have a tendency not to maybe say the thing that I shouldn't say or do the thing I shouldn't do. I step back and I go, okay, I can see things a little bit more clearly. So Krishna consciousness is like this, see? We are driving a vehicle, a vehicle is being driven in our life in a direction. And Krishna is so kind that He's driving, and He puts us on His lap like a 3-year-old, and He lets us put our hands on the wheel, and He lets us think we're driving, right? But Krishna has His hand on the wheel, and He's making sure that we don't drive off the road. Arjuna is showing this in Bhagavad Gita, right? What is he being asked to do? To his duty. His duty as a Kshatriya. He is meant to fight. And Krishna says, look, I've already done this. The war has already been done. I have already driven this car. My hand is on the steering wheel. It's already been done. but I'm going to let you put your hands on the steering wheel, and people will think that you are the driver. You will think you're the driver, but actually it is all done by me. You will be glorified. You will be doing the right thing, but know that I am the doer. Know that I am the one who is inspiring you. I'm the one who's really fighting. So in our life, we also can do our duty. We can read Bhagavad Gita, we can read Srimad Bhagavatam, and we can get out of the conditioned state that these things can't be used in Krishna consciousness. I can't use this from Krishna service, and I can. I can use this in Krishna service. I was talking to Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu the other day, and we were talking about Bhagavad Gita, and I was saying that, one of the, this main idea that Arjuna is to do his duty, and his duty by doing it in Krishna consciousness is devotional service. And yet, sometimes in the conditioned state, we see that our duty isn't service. But isn't that what so he was telling me, he was like, this is because we need to become educated. We do need to, as devotees, become educated so that we can see the things in the right light. That your service is your duty, and by doing it for Krishna, it becomes just as much as the Sachi Sutta Prabhu up here on the altar offering arti. With a smile. Look at that smile. You can do your duty with a smile. Yes, I know sometimes it's tough, right? Because we're in a state where we might be around people that are really punching at us in so many different ways. If it's not mental, it's manipulation and these things and yada, yada, yada. And it can be tough. The thing, though, is that if we can stay in conviction that this is our duty and we are doing it for Krishna, those things will be our greatest assets. These people that are giving us a hard time will be able to become purified that much closer. As a matter of fact, in our Krishna consciousness, they will become purified. So, in Krishna consciousness, your enemy at the office can become purified. Just like Diti, in her devotional service, her own son, Indra, is trying to kill her kids, and he becomes purified. Can you imagine that your enemy is trying to kill your child? We can't even imagine it, really, right? I mean, like, we can kind of maybe go a little bit there, but eventually our mind goes, nope, I don't even want to think about it. It's so horrible. But because of Diti's devotional service, Indra, did I say Arjun earlier? Indra became purified. It's amazing. That's how powerful Krishna consciousness is. So let us be tools for Krishna. Let him be the driver of our life that is taking us to the most perfect destination of the spiritual world. Let's understand that he's letting us put our hands on the wheel. And if we feel like we're going through a dark, dark forest at the middle of the night and we have fear, yes, it is scary. It is tough. It is not easy. But let's know that our master has the wheel fully, and he will steer us in the right direction. We just need to have that conviction and that confidence. And we'll see it. And when we see it, you know what happens? Our love for Krishna deepens because our trust becomes even more. Oh, wow, Krishna is real. Right? You ever have this experience, Mother Kunti, that you go through something, it's tough in life, and you see after some point, oh, Krishna was really there to help, and your love just deepens with him? Yeah, it's like that, right? I don't know what's going on. I'm in the fog. I'm like bewildered. I'm like, hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, I do not know what's going on. I'm just doing the best I can. Let me just become Krishna consciousness. The next day, boom, some realization comes. Oh, Krishna was with me the whole time. Right? And I'm like, I'm like, yes, that blue boy is real. And he is in my life, and he is making an impact in a major way. And I am becoming more Krishna conscious. And then when I chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, I get a little bit more conviction that he is in his name. And that when I say this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, he is there. And it starts feeling a little bit better, and a little bit better, and a little bit better. It is 8:18. Please, devotees, what is your comments, questions, thoughts, corrections? Let's discuss.
You go first because you're my scholar.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Nanda-braja Prabhu, for yet another very powerful, insightful, analytical class. I love your classes.
Thank you, Papaji. You're very kind.
And the takeaway message from today's class for me personally was, let's become the tool at the hands of Krishna. Thank you for bringing up that theme. We can have whatever little minute impact, in our surround, just like Indra got affected positively. Right. So am I. And there are various tools I see around. Each one of you, like your classes, you are the tools. You create an impact in our consciousness. So I can just go on talking about Mother Kunti, her service, loving service to Tulsi, and our temple president's very humble attitude always, right? So many things I can talk about my wife also. But
you are very Krishna conscious, Prabhu. If you can see everything in your wife good, then you're Hare Krishna.
But
by the way, that's not any slight on your wife. I'm saying from us as men anyway. So, oh my gosh.
But I would like
Happy Valentine's Day.
I would like to take this opportunity today to glorify Mother Tulsi, Mother Lalita Priya? Lalita Sundari, sorry. Lalita Sundari. Today happens to be the 28th anniversary. So, yeah. Huh? 12. Oh, somebody said 20th. Okay, 12. Okay.
25?
Congratulations.
12?
Yeah, so we see there
It's eternal.
A tree is known by its fruits, right? The quality of the fruits. We see the kids, they're so much absorbed in Bhagavatam. But I would like to make a point here. We should not forget the sacrifices made by Mother Lalita Sundari. She is PhD, materially so highly qualified. She could have very well, gone outside and gotten a job. But she chose to, give that up, just for the sake of raising her children in Krishna consciousness. And they're doing homeschooling and they're doing wonderful. Prabhuji has been, we don't have to talk about, everybody knows, right?
Oh my gosh.
So thank you very much for creating that impact in everyone's life.
Haribo. I really, if I might, Gokul and Nanda Prabhu, I appreciate your mood so much. You're very kind. You see, it is real that you see every good aspect of devotees, and it's very sweet. Your point that is in the particular point that you made about different tools. We're different tools. And so sometimes we get caught up in our activity of being a tool, right? I'm this kind of person. I do this. This is my service. This is the tool that I am for Krishna. And we look at other tools and we go, that tool is not right. But that's silly. A hammer doesn't look at a screwdriver and say, you're not a tool. This is a different tool. So in Krishna consciousness, we really, this is such a good perspective that if we can see others as tools for Krishna, and I'm trying to be a tool, and this tool is we can respect the fact that everybody has their own service, their own nature, their own duty. And we can support each other in that. Sometimes when somebody else's duty or the tool they are conflicts with us, and we think they're wrong. You're not a tool for Krishna. Because if you're a tool for Krishna, you'd be a tool like me, right? But no, if we can actually see that Krishna is so amazing that he's using everybody in his service and that they're doing different somebody might be a hammer, somebody might be a screwdriver, somebody might be a, what are those things that like you find out, a level? Somebody's a level, somebody's a tape measure, Anyways, all these different things. And just because I'm a tape measure and you're a hammer, doesn't mean that I'm a good tool and you're a bad tool. We are all. Thank you for bringing that up about being different tools.
Yeah. Is there any Mother Kunti?
Hare Krishna. Are we going to glorify Mother Kunti too? Yes. Mother Kunti!
Mother Kunti. I resonated with your class quite a bit, and when you were talking about our own qualification and things like that. And so I was
Nope.
Mother Kunti. I resonated in that. We hear that Krishna, he can make us Krishna conscious in a moment. He can, immediately qualify us. And that when we endeavor to serve, then he qualifies. It's not first we become qualified and then we serve, but when we try to serve, he gives us the strength. And I was experiencing that, I felt quite bad about myself about like, or maybe a few years ago, I would fall asleep every Bhagavatam class. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? This is so annoying. I'm so fallen and things like that. And I couldn't see how there was any mercy in that at all. And then perhaps maybe 2 years, 3 years later, I might have been able to overcome falling asleep in class every day. And I see someone newer than me falling asleep in class every day. And now I'm in a position where I can try to help them, or I'm in a position where I can have compassion, have some understanding. And so, I feel like our struggles are our qualification in a sense. Like they help us. I wasn't making any specific. It's all over the planet. Okay.
I'm confused. Is there somebody who falls asleep in Bhagavatam class? Yeah, just this becomes the greatest gold. You can now show compassion and authenticity in this situation. I've been there. I know what you're going through, and you can connect in such a way. So as devotees, our uniqueness and even our so-called flaws can help us to become qualified and connect with different people in different ways. And it makes us so broad-minded. Srila Prabhupada says a devotee is not cripple-minded. They're very broad-minded. So the different devotees have different experiences, and if we can celebrate them and support them in that way that, hey, I know you're a devotee and you're working on it. You've got this. And look, when you overcome this thing, you think about how many people you can help that fall asleep in Srimad Bhagavatam. You could do a class on falling asleep on Srimad Bhagavatam, and it would be like one of the biggest classes in ISKCON. I'm obviously being a little facetious, but do you hear my point? Yeah.
I was thinking, as devotees, we resonate so much with Jagai and Madai and Jamil. And if a Jamil had never been sinful, and he had never been so fallen, would we be so inspired by his story? And so sometimes I'm like, I wish Krishna would just push the button and I'm like a pure devotee Nitya Siddha. But, for the sake of Sankirtan, how inspiring is that if someone walks up to a senior devotee, how did you get to this point? I just woke up one day and I was a pure devotee. But when they say, no, for 40, 50 years, I woke up every day and I chanted my rounds and I kept trying and it was hard, that's what can really inspire us. That's the process. And that is Lord Chaitanya's mercy. He's flipping the switch, but it's also, we're able to help other people when it's like an authentic process.
Thank you, Trista. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank you for class, Prabhu. But this is a continuation, though, the question from yesterday's. So it was mentioned that Diti wanted to kill Indra and the 12 Adityas. And so I was reading the backstory, and the Adityas include the sun and the moon also. So my question is, I mean, I haven't read it all or even remember if I have, but Kashyapa was on planet Earth, right? Or was he not? Diti, Aditi, Kashyapa, were they all here? And if they were, then how, like the sun and the moon, like
Yes.
I know we can't understand, but still I want to understand.
I will move to Gokula Nanda Prabhu. Or Prabhupada Priya Prabhu. Very much more qualified to answer this detailed question than me.
Yeah, Kashyapa and his pastimes with Diti, Aditi, were they on planet Earth? If, the 12 Adityas were born here, then like, did we not have a sun and moon before that, or what was that?
I'm just thinking like their first son was, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha were kings, right? Were twins. And during the time of Hiranyaksha, the earth went out of orbit, right? So it seems like they weren't on the earth. If the earth was drowning in the Garbhodak ocean, they must have been on another planet. They must have been somewhere else where they had like a proper footing, they could. So that's the only thing I can think of to indicate their whereabouts.
Thank you for being such a nice tool for Krishna, Mother Prabhupada Priya Prabhu. Look at who's our Brahmanan that can give us context.
Even
It's amazing, right?
even it is mentioned in
Oh.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Chitraketu, Maharaj Chitraketu was on Siddhaloka planet. It was, Gandharva Loka.
Just on this topic. I was curious because we do see that like on Earth there are like ancient sites, or like I think it's called a Hobalam or something like that, and it's where Lord Nrsingadev appeared, and he appeared in Hiranyakashipu's palace at the same time. So that would indicate that Hiranyakashipu's palace was on the planet Earth, in which Lord Nrsingadev appeared. But I'm sure it's also like multi-dimensional, several planes of existence and things like that. But maybe anyone has a thought.
In one of the kalpas, there is a place in Pakistan currently. So that place also called Multan. So that place also is said to be the place where in one of the kalpas Lord Nrsingadev appeared.
This is
Multidimensional.
Also, like the demigods, they have their residences in the heavenly planets, like on Swarga. And then they also all have their abodes on top of Mount Meru and in Bhuloka. And, so they have different places where they live. And yeah, it's complicated.
there's this thing called the willow chip that they had to shut down because it started to prove some things that they just didn't understand. There was patterns being done that at first looked like just jumble, and they started realizing it was pattern. And so some speculation is that this chip was starting to see different dimensions, and they were like shutting it down. We're not ready for this. I know this. It's really quite interesting to look at it. That our science, that the scientists might actually catch up to some of these things that prove our Vedic science and help us even. Anyways, I'm sorry if that was weird.
I know we're out of time, but I just wanted to add to a short sentence to that, and then Nrsimha Prabhu had something.
Yes.
And then if there's time, I have something else. But just to add to this, I listened to a class by His Holiness Ramapad Swami Maharaj like a year or two ago, and it was about Lord Nrsimha Dev's appearance day. But he made the point that sometimes we get the impression that there was no Nrsimha Dev, and then he appeared out of the pillar, and now there's a Lord Nrsimha Dev, And he said, but he is eternally existing. He said he is present everywhere at all times. He was never unmanifest, but he's present. He's present everywhere at all times. And I just thought that was a nice way of reframing the mind work on that.
So I was just, when you were making the point how Krishna has his hands on the wheels, and we're there, and he kind of lets us think maybe we're driving, and I was thinking that someone could then maybe say, well, now I'm going to blame Krishna because he's letting me go to these different places. And I was appreciating the comment Gokulananda Prabhu made about that we are, seeing ourselves as tools, as an instrument in the hands of the Lord. And that to the degree that we are asking the Lord, please make me your instrument, make me your tool, then to that degree, then the Lord takes more active role in the guidance of our life and what we're doing. And then when we're fully surrendered, then the Lord's now we are completely a tool, an instrument in the Lord's hands. And we're not still trying to oh Lord, make me your instrument, but then actually I want to go over here and do this. Oh Lord, make me your instrument, but then I run over here and do that. So that just the different degrees of it, I was thinking. But yeah, really appreciated the class and his comment as well.
It's okay to blame Krishna. A demonic person will blame Krishna in one way, and a devotee will blame Krishna in another way. So sometimes we have to fight that we're trying to become devotees, not demons. And so sometimes we'll blame Krishna in a way that's not it's not favorable, and therefore it's not devotional service. Kamsa was always Krishna conscious, but he was thinking of Krishna unfavorably. So our devotees, we are to blame Krishna for everything, but we know confidently Krishna will surely protect me and give me everything that I need for my Krishna consciousness. I don't get it right now. I don't understand at the moment. I'm foggy, but Krishna has something in this for me that is of great value. And if we can remain there in that positive light that Krishna is helping me, Pam, he comes and kills the demons. He comes and kills that demonic nature. He becomes the hero. We stop trying to become the hero. Krishna becomes the hero, and he kills our whatever voices on our shoulder saying, no, Krishna will take care of it. But Prabhupada Priya, you were going to say something? Okay. I mean, anyways. Can I add just one more thing, Prabhupada Priya? So the word blame, if as devotees we can adjust our paradigm of what blame means, because we hear blame and automatically that comes with negative connotations, right? But as devotees, if we can look at it like in this transcendental thing that that when I say I blame Krishna, maybe it doesn't mean like this negative tone. It just means that I know that Krishna is the source, So we can paradigm shift to the sense of blame meaning something as a devotee, that Krishna is in control and that he is, whereas the demon he has a different mindset of what blame means. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I've been doing these readings of Naparayam in the evening, and even the gopis blame Krishna. Right? They're like, you just ditched us here in the middle of the night in the forest all alone. This is, how could you? We've given up everything for you. We've dedicated our lives to you, sacrificed so much for you, and this is how you treat us. What kind of a lover are you? It seems that you're just indifferent, you're ungrateful, and they make all these accusations. And then, so Krishna, he has to explain himself, and they're actually really infuriated with him. And he's like, actually, I just did all of this to try to increase your love for me. And then they don't accept it immediately, but after a while, they realize that. And then he says that, so they say, oh, is this how you make people love you? Is you put them in so much pain and suffering and agony, and then somehow love is supposed to come out of that? And then he says it's like a person who was poor and then got some wealth and then lost it. That they stay hankering for the wealth, or they're just thinking of nothing but the money and what they've lost. And then I lost my train of thought. Oh, he says that actually he's more present in the separation than he is in the meeting. So yeah, I was thinking that that's something that's very relevant to us, because many of us all of us, practically, we've made so many sacrifices for Krishna. We've dedicated our lives to Krishna. We've done years or decades of service for Krishna, and yet we can still have like big problems in life and think, Krishna, I've done so much for you, and this is what you do to me. This is what you're putting me through. What kind of, Lord are you? You totally don't care about me and all this. So, I've been praying and praying. You're not answering my prayers. What's wrong with you? Don't you see what I've done? And you're doing nothing for me. So it's very similar. But like what Krishna tells the gopis is that those moments where we're really feeling like that Krishna's not there, he's actually more present with us during those moments because the separation is so intense. Whereas everything's hunky-dory, yeah, Krishna's cool, he's providing everything for me. Then we kind of like, just go on with our lives, and Krishna's there, but he's not so intensely there as when he's not there,
I think that's the best comment to end with, because that is transcendental Valentine's. And so we hear about the transcendental Cupid, Sri Radha Kalashanji, that knows how to perfectly use love. Wow. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. Oh, I'm sorry.
Probably not even online anymore. I just wanted to share something I read, because it makes me happy when I get to do that with all of you. But Drishtadyumna Prabhu, when you were saying, sometimes you wish that, Krishna would just press a button and you'd be a pure devotee. And it reminded me of what I had read recently in Nectar Devotion in chapter 17, which is about spontaneous loving service, which obviously comes after the regulative service chapter. But anyway, Prabhupada / Srila Rupa Goswami explains that elevation to the ecstatic love can happen in two ways. One way is by constant association with pure devotees, and the other way is by the special mercy of Krishna, or the special mercy of a pure devotee, and that mercy can come through a look, a glance, or speaking. But then he gives the example of like the constant association of regulative devotional service is Narada Muni, how he was constantly serving the pure devotees, and then he was elevated. And then the spontaneous was Prahlad, that in the womb of his mother, Narada Muni just spoke, and he became a pure devotee. So we are so fortunate because we keep having such wonderful pure devotees come here, and we can just hear from them and serve them. So I just thought that was nice, especially since we're all so excited that His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu is coming. Hare Krishna.
Vaishnava.